Hi, this is Greg Roulette, and I am a very excited new member of the ORU community. And over the past few years, I've heard from some incredible experts talking about finance and money and how the world's changing in social and technology. And today, I'm really excited to be sitting down with the founder of ORU and everything that they've been doing to create this community that is trying to change the world, but not by starting with this grandiose idea that we need to change everything. It starts with you, and it starts with me. People just like us who are out there using the ORU Visa debit card, the prepaid debit card, who are out there interacting as a part of the community. And I wanted to learn more about what it's like to be in this ORU community, what it's like to be a member, what the member benefits are, and how we are changing the world one person at a time. And again, I'm here with the founder, Nick VandenBrekel. What's going on, my friend? How are you doing?
Very nice to be here, and that was a heck of an intro. I'll tell you what, we got to do this more often.
I know, we do, and I'm excited that we're here today. And how did we get to here today? Like, why are we even having this discussion in the first place?
That's a great question. It's a great question to ask, and it has everything to do where society is today. Not just in the United States, but globally. When you're looking at how people are engaged with other people. Yeah. And clearly, there's a huge shift between what is really the baby boom generation, the people who came up in the computer revolution, if you will, right, and the current generation of millennials and younger people who grew up with smartphones and computers and tablets.
We got this everywhere we go.
Everywhere,
it's attached to us.
As a matter of fact, in our travels, you go to countries where the infrastructure and the local economy really would be considered third world. Yeah. Living circumstances and the circumstances of how people just try to survive, but they all have smartphones. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. So everybody's connected. Yeah. And because of this connection, you have these platforms, social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, anything that can be done with a smartphone to stay connected. Right. And it creates this environment where everybody is always connected to somebody else. Yeah. And what's interesting about that is the amount of time that people spend being occupied or preoccupied with these activities. And you can almost say how much productivity is lost, right, by doing that.
Well, and productivity not just from an employer or a job, but productivity from being present with your family or being present with your kids when you're,
well, exactly.
I mean, it's just productivity in general.
And as you know, a lot of this stuff is very addicting.
Totally.
It's addictive to always wait for that next notification or to see if something that you've done is liked by somebody else. Yeah. And then if for some reason, whatever it is you've done is not accepted positively by somebody else, now you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a failure because I only got 16 likes. Yeah.
So now you have to remedy that, and all of a sudden you spend another 2 hours on there. Yeah. Now what's interesting, and I think this is an important point to understand about this current generation, for a long time, and a good example would be video gaming. I don't know if you remember this, but maybe I'm aging myself here a little bit, but remember those days where you would play these new video games, the Nintendo and whatever was out there, and your parents would say, listen, stop playing these video games. Right. It's a waste of time, and you're going to just throw your life away. You're going to be a couch potato. Right. Which at the time probably made sense.
Of course.
You can't say that anymore. Gaming is one of the most prolifically profitable
industries,
activities in the world today.
And now there's professional video game players. It's crazy.
They fill stadiums.
Right.
They
to watch people play video games.
Watch people play video games. Yeah. It's absolutely mind-boggling. So the notion of put your smartphone away, put your tablet away, don't do this because somehow it doesn't mesh with your rationale of what people should be, occupying themselves with. So the issue then becomes, how do you do that? Why would you do that? And you're not going to take a smartphone or current technology away from a person who grew up with it.
Right. Well, I don't think our time spent on the devices is going to shrink. It's only going to.
It's going to get bigger.
It's going to increase.
Yes.
This thing, I don't know if they can see it on the camera, but the laptop is gone. It's going to be. Everything's going to happen right there on your device.
Smarter, small smartphone platforms. Right now at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, they're introducing things that, between Samsung and Apple and some of the other manufacturers, some of the things that are just amazing. Foldable screens that you can just put in your pocket, but they have to be just available to you. So you have a generation that wants to modify the behavior of the current generation.
Right.
And that's not going to happen.
It's not.
And so what do you do with that? Well, now you get into something that's very complex because you are dealing with an economy. You are dealing with jobs. And at the same time, we're seeing that things like automation becoming much more efficient. And we all know that that is going to take jobs away. Robotics. Mm-hmm. All of these things are right in line with the progress and evolution of technology. However, like we said earlier, when you are taking this productivity of you being involved in these networks, but you're not getting anything in return.
Right.
What do you do with that when an enormous amount of your time is occupied on somebody else's network, and they certainly profit from it? You know, we're not going to talk about you-know-who's here, but the thing is that they take your time and they monetize your time for their own benefit.
So let's talk about that for a second, because I don't want that to be lost on anyone. So when you're on one of these networks, doesn't matter which one it is, and you're posting about, you know, what you had for breakfast, you're posting about a restaurant you just went to, a movie you just saw, whatever it is, your only reward is ego or the dopamine hit that you get that I posted it and you liked it and the camera guy liked it and whoever else liked it. But the platform is actually making money on that because they're able to sell advertising against it. They're able to sell. I don't benefit from it at all except for my ego, whether it gets bruised or improved.
Which, by the way, is an interesting concept here, because if you are, let's say, quite eloquent in giving that review of that restaurant that you liked, or whatever reference you gave to something that you visited, that can make you quite popular.
Right.
You can have followers.
You can have influence,
people, but guess what? Still doesn't do anything.
Still doesn't do anything for me. Yeah.
Or at best, you become somewhat of an influencer.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're the one that is monetizing the time of the people who follow you.
Right.
And that doesn't really not that helpful either.
No.
It'd be helpful for you.
If I'm the influencer. Yeah. But
so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a very, very big deal.
So what do we do about that? And this is a problem that you saw, right, firsthand. You saw all these people spending so much time, hours and hours of their time every day on these platforms, building the platforms, but getting not much in return. And you wanted to do something about this.
I did. So we are really just a group of technicians and technologists. We've been involved in technology for 30 plus years in every possible vertical that you can imagine.
Yeah.
So we have seen the development and the evolution of these platforms because we've been involved in them. We've written the software. We have built the microprocessors. We've created the technology that embodies the activities that people are constantly involved in. And looking at these social platforms, I thought, and what I saw coming years ago was that there will be a time where so many people are involved in these networks, and it is so single-sided that ultimately you just have these monopolistic networks and you have countless people that are getting no benefit in a world that is rapidly changing towards including artificial reality and augmented reality and automation. So I thought, what if we take the best of these social interactions and we create a network that has all these benefits? And to kind of explain the benefits, things you already do. Every day. So whether you go and get your coffee, whether you go travel, whether you communicate, whether you socially post something, buy something, sell something, trade something. All these things you already do. Let's call that your transactional behavior. It's what you do. Everybody does that. It's your routine.
Right.
So what if we have a network that offers you all of these routines? So we have a chat platform, we have a social platform, we have a buying and a selling and a trading platform, we have a payment system, we have a Visa card. So everything you're already used to. So we're not trying to change you. You're already doing this. But now we're throwing a twist at it. If you do that on our network, we're going to pay you for it.
Just doing the same things I already do.
We're going to pay you.
I'm going to go to the coffee shop. I'm going to get my $3 latte, maybe $5 latte if you're in LA or somewhere. I'm now going to get rewarded for that. And not like a traditional just rewards credit card, right? That's not what we're talking about here.
No, we're talking about you're actually getting money. And the reason why this is important is because we were thinking about what would happen if we create a network where for the first time ever we actually reward people for their participation.